Hey family, welcome to our channel. Stay tuned for the New York edition. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video because we lit. So we popped off our weekend getaway to New York City with an early morning flight to Atlanta as our layover flight. So had to kick the morning off with a nice little breakfast, but you know, airport breakfast wasn't too crazy. Had the pancakes, the eggs, and the sausage, you know, something slight, nothing too crazy, but you know, felt like I just had to get something in my system, you know, before we get going. Alright, I might have capped a little bit about the breakfast, but that's besides the point. Now, you know, we're getting ready to board, get ready for our flight, meet Bay. This is Bay. What y'all gonna quickly learn about Bay is she hates flying. So this didn't help. We had a crazy flight. It was raining, it was bumpy, it was, you know, everything that you probably don't want to experience if you hate flying. But we made it out. We was a little sick, you know, flight had us a little under the weather for a little while, but once we got moving, once we got going, it was okay. How would you rate the flight? Easily one of the worst flights I've been on. Raining, windy, cloudy. It felt like a flight in a movie scene. Leave it up to Atlanta to have Earth, Wind, and Fire playing in the airport. Crazy. After, you know, sitting around for a little bit, I wanted to walk around. We wanted to try to figure out what we could do while we sat and wait for a little while. You know, the weather was crazy, all that stuff like that. It was, you know, very cool to see, you know, some of the planes take off, you know, while we sat around and waited, tried to kill some time, you know, laughing and joking. Well, I tried to laugh and joke because she wasn't trying to deal with none of that. She still was feeling a little under the weather. But it was just crazy to see some of these planes like taking off and just disappearing in the clouds. Kind of like that show Manifest. That's the vibe it gave me, because it was kind of crazy to even see it. She don't know what movie this comes from. And people swear they black. Sunday. How you don't know this movie? This is like iconic in our culture. This is, matter of fact, two movies. Well, one I know for a fact you don't know, but like I'm talking about like iconic movies though in black culture.
I can't even spell iconic right now.
Okay. I want you guys to leave a comment at the bottom of what movie did that song play in, or what movies did that song, you know, be featured in. Let's do it for the culture. So aside from that, you know, we headed, you know, from there we boarded our flight, headed to New York City.
She rang her call back.
I gotta check. So how was the second flight?
Rocky, but better than the first.
So the second flight was a lot better, a lot more smooth. It was just more annoying because we had to deal with Prince Hakeem and Simi talking the whole flight. But other than that, once we landed, was able to get our bag, you know, get our Uber and everything, and the drive through Queens and Manhattan was as smooth as it could be. You know, wasn't no traffic, which was very surprising. And then after that, we kind of settled in, you know, in the lobby or whatever, because we had to wait for check-in. We got there early, anticipating that it would, you know, we would have taken a little longer. So we finally made it. Now we're just waiting on check-in. You know, y'all gotta forgive Miss TLC, aka Little Miss Aaliyah over here. You know, she wanted to, you know, doll herself up in the lobby and stuff like that before we headed up to the room. You know, once we got in the room, it was amazing. The hotel was the Westin at Times Square. I think that sat on about 8th Avenue or something like that, which was a couple minutes, you know, walking distance from, you know, Times Square. Amazing. The views were awesome. As you can see, like, the buildings was like in the clouds and stuff like that, man. I was in love. I was in heaven with that. I really enjoyed it. And this was, you know, my birthday surprise, you know, / gift, you know, from Babe, you know. But after, you know, we dropped our bags and stuff like that, we went out in the hotel to, you know, check out, you know, what they had, what was going on. This was the view from the restaurant, which was amazing. You know, a lot of traffic, a lot of people walking by. And then after we head back up to the room, of course, you know, she wanted to be all, you know, special and use the key on the phone. Of course, that didn't work. So, and she forgot the actual card key in the room. Didn't even know we had a card key. Because if I'd have known that, I would have took that, because I don't really be playing with the technology and stuff like that. But, you know, I had to sit there and poke at her about her, you know, because she always be doing all, you know, too much. You know how it be, fellas. But, you know, once the guy came up, you know, opened up the door for us, we headed back in the room. Once again, check out the view. Had to check it out. But once we, you know, got settled in, you know, got everything we needed, you know, we wanted to get prepped and ready to go, to head out to take on, you know, Manhattan for the first day, you know, / night or whatever. And, you know, of course I had to get us in the, you know, video before we head onto the elevator. Most of the time when I'm recording the elevator, I just do this to, you know, poke at my sister, because she hate elevators. And she don't understand how we be getting on an elevator. She want us to walk up 30 floors to get our room, which is not gonna happen. So after we hit the street, first stop, we was gonna stop by the glizzy stand. But it was this one lady, she was trying to skip, but I think when I like kind of called her out, or I mentioned it, I think she overheard me, and then she kind of like dipped off. But, you know, I ended up getting me a glizzy, you know what I'm saying? Pause.
Warning, disturbing content. Viewer discretion is advised.
So after the glizzy stand, we stopped by Two Bros Pizza. And trust me, it's all worth it, people. As soon as you come in, man, you see all the pieces that were already made. And then, you know, most of the time, I guess people get the deal with the 2 slices with the canned soda for $3.99, which would be 2 cheese slices. So most of the people probably get that stuff anyway, so where it's fresh. But man, you know, that A right there, you know, for that inspection, me awesome, bro. You know, to forget all the little crumbs and stuff all over the place, man. The food, the pizza there is crazy. The experience is amazing. I feel like this is authentic New York. You know, this is the real New York experience, man. Get you a slice of pizza. You either keep moving or you stand around, eat your food. You know, babe, you know, her mouth water, she hungry, so, you know, look, she go crazy. Yeah, man, that pizza is crazy, man. It's fresh. You know, they take it right out the oven. You know what I mean? Like I said, forget all the mess and stuff. Like, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? We're in the heart of New York. You know what I'm saying? Got me a little Fanta, you know, pineapple soda.
So how would you rate Two Bros?
10.
10? 2 Bros is fire. Two cheese and pineapple soda. Now we're headed to the stand, the kebab stand, so she could get her meat.
Pause.
How you doing?
Crispy cheese.
I don't have no.
God bless you, mommy. Y'all be blessed, all right?
Thank you.
What's up, my brother?
This street good for you, or you want to go down the other street?
Down the street.
She want to walk down the streets with the light.
No lights, no going.
After the pizza spot, you know, we continued to walk, and then we so happened to come across the lovely Tahiri from Love and Hip Hop, Joe Budden's ex-girl.
Look, they go to here. You look.
She seemed to be a lovely lady, so.
Boyfriend around, get you're taking, because that's all you know how to do. And I'm done.
So, after coming across Tahiri, with whoever, I mean, I guess it seemed to be maybe a boyfriend and a bodyguard or something like that, coming out of the movie theater, we just, you know, we kept walking. I believe we walked from about 9th Avenue to 5th Avenue and then up from there. So we walked, you know, a great distance on the first night, just enjoying the scenery, just enjoying, you know, New York City, you know, Manhattan and everything, and enjoying each other's company in the process, just laughing, joking. You know, I'm always poking around, messing with bae. But, you know, just really, you know, in pursuit of finding the perfect food truck, you know, because for her, it has to be like the ideal, perfect food truck, which I don't think that exists in New York City or just about anywhere in the world. But, you know, we just kept on walking, you know, getting some nice exercise in, you know, and enjoying everything around us.
Left. I think this is the library. The library from Ghostbusters. Come on.
So we finally found us a kebab stand, you know, so that we can get beef kebabs and everything like that. You know, we were kind of excited because we knew what to expect. We knew that it would be good, you know, with the right person. And dude seemed like he was doing a good job, you know, hooking us up. So, you know, we were excited.
Boy, beating at me.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
After getting food and walking a few blocks around Manhattan, we stopped in Times Square to hang out, you know, sightsee a little bit, enjoy the weather, even though it was crazy. But I wanted bae to take me pictures, but she didn't do such a good job.
Didn't look happy.
You're not listening.
So bae wanted us to take some type of a video with us spinning in a circle or something like that. I didn't know what she was talking about, but
Now turn.
Doing the damn thing.
Doing the damn thing. Doing the damn thing. It's real. It's real. You know what I mean?
All day, all day,
All day. All day.
so after we hung out, we headed back to the room to enjoy our food, man. And I tell you, man, this food was so good, man. I was dreaming about it when I fell asleep, man. It was amazing.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
So after we ate, we laid down, settled down for the night, get us some rest for the next day. We didn't technically have any plans specifically, but we did have a plan to get up and figure out what we were going to do. We found out that our hotel offered some free activities for us, you know, free vouchers. So we wanted to see what they had available after we went down to the lobby and everything, we found out that we can go to the One World Trade Center Observatory. And, I was excited, but I was a little nervous about it. Bae was like she wasn't going to do it. And, once we figured that out, I was waiting on her, sitting around waiting for us to leave. So after Bae made friends, we headed to the subway to head downtown. But of course, got lost, went the wrong way. Once we figured it out, we got back right, head downtown. Everything started to go smooth until we got there, and it was freezing cold.
And it's cold.
Once we got over the fact that it was freezing cold at the World Trade Center and nowhere else, we paid our respects at the memorial, looked at some of the names before we headed into the building. And I headed up to the top of the building because Bae decided she wasn't going because she said I was crazy. And I felt like it was something I had to do to get over, I guess, a fear of mine.
Okay. Who dogged you up?
My husband.
Okay.
So after we paid our respects around the memorial, we went inside the building to get our ticket for me to go up top to the observatory. And it didn't hit me until then, once we got like in these little dark hallways and tunnels, it kind of got a little weird. I got that weird feeling, but at this point, no turning back now. I'm here. It's time to go up, to get a view of the city. And, I started to get, little butterflies or whatever. I started to sweat a little bit. But once we met at the elevator and we got on the elevator, it was pretty cool to see like the visual evolution of New York City. And on the screen you can see us going up. You can see like the meter going up in feet, how high we're actually going up in the building. And that helped. You didn't really feel yourself going up in the elevator, which kind of helped as well. But it was a smooth, quick elevator ride. And once we got up top, we were greeted and, we were lined up so that we can go, I guess, like into another room where they give us like a presentation of New York City and everything like that. So you can kind of sense that everybody was a little nervous but excited at the same time. You get that feeling. But once, everything started, once they got us into like this little area, we started watching. The presentation was, nothing too crazy, but I was thinking like, that's just so random. And then like randomly, as the presentation going on, you don't really know what's gonna happen, but then the walls just went up. And then it was like the whole New York City was like right there. I couldn't even get it as the wall was coming up because I was shaking. Like once I realized that it was actually going up and you see like the whole New York City, and the view was crazy, but we all were like kind of stuck in the moment. We all were like, amazed and everything like that, but kind of sort of at the same time scared. But after, they kind of walked us, out to where you can walk around. But, you see me, I'm hugging the wall. I couldn't, at first I was stuck. I couldn't go nowhere near that window. I'm kind of standing behind everybody. And until I started to, see like the water, the Hudson River and everything like that, I, quickly kind of started to get used to it a little bit somewhat. I got a little comfortable, had to walk around. I walked near, they had like a restaurant up there and everything like that. And that kind of helped a little bit to see people more relaxed, because we all seemed a little, tense at first. But as you can see, the Statue of Liberty was so small from up there. But, I started to get used to it. I started inching towards the window a little bit, to get used to it. But, this experience was amazing, but I do not recommend this to anyone who is maybe claustrophobic or have a fear of heights and stuff like that, because it is intense. And it is, kind of, crazy once you get up there.
I was able to walk around, see. My legs got weak a few times. Felt a little sick, but it was good. I really appreciate it. It's a once in a lifetime experience.
So after the tour, had to head back down. The elevator ride back down was a little more intense because you could feel, yourself going back down the building. But had to find Babe because we were going to head to Chinatown to get something to eat. But once again, I had to find her because in the bottom of the World Trade Center, there's like stores and food and everything like that. So she was down there hiding somewhere.
All you have to do is walk straight down the street there.
I gotta find her because she was too scared to go up in the top of the building, so she was down here hiding somewhere. So now we're playing cat and mouse. Let's see. Yeah, so maybe somebody got like a big case. They trying to
So we got off the subway near the Brooklyn Bridge. We had to walk by the courthouse and stuff like that. And no, I didn't snitch. But it seemed like they had a big case going on and a lot of cameras out front and all that stuff like that. But once we got to Chinatown, everything was smooth. Everybody was polite. It was like, what's the worst that can happen?
I can pull her back.
Ignore that. But we went to the restaurant Wool Hop. And I recommend this for people who love Chinese food, Asian food, stuff like that. Man, the food was amazing. They do give you a lot of food, so when you go, please don't go crazy because you're gonna be leaving with a whole lot of leftovers.
I usually get this from all of them when I go.
You said it's good?
Mm-hmm.
How good?
It's actually very good. You want to try it? Okay, he's giving it a try. Let's see what he thinks. Why you gotta do your...
So after the soup, Bae tried her egg rolls. And the egg rolls is pretty good based on her review. I don't really eat egg rolls, so I don't really know. And then we ordered chicken and fried rice, which also was pretty good. But be careful if you guys decide to go to Wool Hop in Chinatown. They do give you a lot of food, so be aware of that. Because you'll be walking out with a lot of takeout boxes and stuff like that. But we wanted to get a little bite to eat, something that'll hold us over because we wanted to try the different things, throughout the city, throughout the day, because we had a long day ahead of us. And so after having our food, after enjoying our food, we headed back out Chinatown to walk around and stuff like that. And Chinatown in Manhattan is one of the most unique, places in the country because you kind of get that, authentic, somewhat Chinese feel, in Chinatown. And then from there we headed over to Little Italy, which is not far, a few blocks over. And after a while we kind of got a little tired and decided to head back to our hotel, back to our area so that we could just kind of relax a little bit, charge our phones up and everything like that.
Tabitha Brown.
Hello there. How are you?
So after passing the Tabitha Brown sign, man, y'all go check out Tabitha Brown, by the way, man. Bae loves her. We had to circle back through Little Italy, and, Little Italy was another unique experience. I wanted to try the food. I love Italian food, but we were still full from the food at Wool Hop in Chinatown. So we just kind of passed through the restaurants and the stores and stuff just to check it out on our way back to the subway before we headed back to Times Square. Man, it get a little hot in the subway, so I had to get my Bobby Shmurda on real quick. Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. Don't mind me, man. I be acting a fool. All jokes aside, man, y'all check out Robert Brewington. He's from New York. He's a music artist. He's a model. He was in the subway hustling. Y'all go check him out, man, on Instagram. Follow him. Show him some support, some love.
You look for the comment when you got over there where the people can take you in the bag.
What are you talking about?
I ain't seen nothing Valentine. We passed like 3 H&M's. We passed
traveling back. We finally arrived so that we could settle down, charge our phones, take a little nap and rest before we head back out later that night. We woke up from our nap wanting steak, so we wanted to try one of the local places, but most of it was closed, so we ended up checking out Outback, and that was probably the best Outback I had in my life. I love Outback, but it was nothing that matched that.
Yeah, but I've been at the bracelet and I got a bank too. And yeah, but even though I got one, it's like,
She always talking.
I don't use it. I don't even use it. I should, but
After we left Outback, we walked for a little while, and then we ended up wanting to stop by the corner store just to get a chopped cheese, get some film. But the dude in there was acting kind of funny. He was acting weird, like with the camera and all that stuff. So my boy camera shot that we can.
come on. You get something?
I don't know. Come on, we could go. We could go. Cause I don't know. He probably don't want to.
Probably ain't supposed to be in there.
Dude saw the camera, freaked out, like, I don't want to be on camera. So, me and my girl, we like, well, let other buddy fix the sandwich, so it ain't awkward or nothing like that. Dude didn't care, but at that point, we was just like, whatever.
Can you record me real quick?
Get somebody else to do it.
So after we left the bodega, we continued to walk up. I believe that was 6th Avenue. And we were greeted by a young lady as we crossed one of the streets. And she was like, oh, could you guys please walk on the other side of the street for me? Because we're trying to keep this, as clean as possible, this sidewalk or whatever like that, because we're shooting. Come to find out, they were shooting a television show. I guess that's the spinoff for Sex and the City. We had no idea what that was. We don't even watch that stuff. But it was cool to see. We stopped and, watched for a little while, the people running around and shooting their scenes and stuff like that. But I had basically said, if this had been like Power, they were shooting like Power or something like that, nah, they would have had to arrest me because I'm watching. I'm trying to see what's going on. Man, shout out to all my people who watch Power and all the spinoffs, Ghost and Raising Kanan and all of, man, I love it, man. Especially if I had seen like Sax or one of them, man, I probably would have stepped aside. He be pissing me off, man. But shout out to.
Do what?
That's repetitive. They been here all day doing this. Are they supposed to be like running for a scene? Oh, that's so cool, Quandra, look. Let me see if I can. That is so cool.
I'm about to disrupt the whole movie set.
Huh? No. Where this ball is so much bigger. You know that big old ball they putting on TV. Like it's.
What?
So we finally got to Times Square. As soon as we got there, dude noticed us wearing matching clothes and he wanted to get pictures of us. So after our photo shoot, we hung around Times Square for a little while before we headed back inside. And we also wanted to try the Krispy Kreme in Times Square because we're from Miami, and the Krispy Kreme in Miami, in North Miami, is probably the best in the world. So if y'all don't believe me, go check that out. But I give credit where credit is due. The Krispy Kreme in Times Square was good, but still not better than the one back home in Miami. So on our way in, dude crossed our path. He almost hit a few people like in front of us on his bike, and cops quickly surrounded him. So man, I wanted to record it because it seemed like it was gonna get crazy. But shout out to the dude, he kept his composure. Shout out to the NYPD, because they handled it professional. It didn't escalate. They just talked to him, let him know, hey man, you can't be doing this or whatever like that. And everybody was able to go home. So shout out to them, man, for handling it the right way.
Westin.
Before heading in, we stopped by the bodega, get us a chopped cheese, so that, after we could lay down, get some rest because we had a long day the following day.
Beat me up, Scotty.
So after we got our chopped cheese, we went to the room, and I'm talking about bust them down. Look, I can't even explain what this sandwich does. But look, go to New York City, go to your local bodega, get you a chopped cheese. You make it however you want, whatever you want on whatever toppings. Get it. Tell me what you think, because I can't explain. Anybody who ever had a chopped cheese, comment down below, express it, because I can't do it. Just go to New York, get one. So after we ate and laid down, woke up next morning, it was beautiful outside, which sucks. That made me want to stay even longer. But right here, this is like the walk of shame, walking through the lobby with your bags, you know, when you check out and stuff like that. But we wanted to head out, you know, get a quick start so that we can get some souvenirs for the kids and get us a bite to eat before we head back to the airport. And it was just beautiful outside. It was, you know, perfect. But, you know, that sucked because we had to leave. And, you know, we thought about possibly getting some name tags, but, you know, we got some cultured names, so we can't, you know, our kids don't have their name tags. We got to get their names custom. So for all the people who got to customize their kid name tag, you know, shout out to y'all. After getting souvenirs, we wanted to stop by the bodega once again before we headed out to get us a bite to eat to hold us over, you know, before we catch our flight. So we wanted to get the bacon, egg, and cheese, which is another New York bodega delicacy, man. Y'all, once again, go New York, try this out. Shout out to this bodega. Sat on 8th Avenue, right across the street from the Westin at Times Square. Legit, man. Shout out to Bae. You know, she thinks she swears she's so hood. She got a bandana on. I don't know if she thinks she Aaliyah or whatever like that. I don't know what it is. But comment down below what y'all think we talking about based on her reaction. Because, you know, I get on her nerves. And she always trying to explain something to me. But shout out to Bae. You know, once again, waiting on bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese was crazy. Running back. Now I'm getting the bacon, egg, and cheese with the jelly.
I'm gonna get it.
What? Right now? What you gonna do with that? So after we copped our sandwiches, we called our Uber, and when we got in the Uber, man, we popped that bag open, and look at this sandwich. It was amazing. Look good, but it tastes even better. All right, man. I want another one just thinking about it. As we made our way to the airport, riding through New York City, we left early anticipating that there would be a lot of traffic. There'd be a lot of people at the airport, but fortunately for us, it wasn't. But unfortunately, we had to sit in the airport for a few hours waiting for our flight. And, you know, we watched the flights come in and leaving out and stuff like that. And then we end up stopping by a restaurant my sister wanted us to check out called Junior's. Overall, Junior's was okay. Nothing too crazy, nothing special.
First of all, you had enough tacos where you just left.
There you have it, our trip to New York. This concludes this video. If you want to be a part of the family, subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video so we can get out there. We out.
Go harder. All I won't need not the one from the Parkers. He need help practice hitting them target. Can't cool down shit, you can't get me started. I'm like meat lil, but I'm light-hearted. She want flowers, I'ma build her a garden. Flat house forever, they're my favorite barbers. I ain't exclusive, kill beats like a Spartan. I ain't exclusive, kill beats like a Spartan.